Good evening, everyone. Where are you? Where are you watching again this channel, which goes by the names of the Manchester United Matters channel? In there with Manchester United to meet Saul Niguez representatives next week. In there, please subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Remember, this is RD onto this channel, and I'm really coming through to do this live story in here. Our first live story of the day. We first did a story of Varane Pogba, but United are set to meet Saul Niguez representatives. This story is being reported in from the Mirror with the chief correspondent in there that the representatives for a team which goes for a man who goes by the name of Saul Niguez, the so-called midfielder in there. He plays almost each and every number into the midfield in there when it comes to the midfield positions in Atletico Madrid. He's expected to come to the Premier League, and his representatives are flying into United Kingdom to talk to Manchester United, one to talk to Liverpool in there, because those two teams look like they're the ones that are really into the battle to get the signature of the midfielder. But I'm really wondering, why is Liverpool wanting a midfielder? Jorginho Wijnaldum left, but you have Naby Keita, you have Fabinho, you have Anderson in there, and who else are they having in there? So I think Liverpool are not badly off, and I don't think that they're really going to go in for him. And if at all United is serious, by the way, when you look at the cream that is at United, every player would like to play for a team which goes by names of Manchester United. So guys, let's pray to it that a man who goes by names of Varane comes in at Manchester United and is unveiled, and then the Saul Niguez is one of the signings that I feel like United should make, because Saul Niguez can play as a CDM. By the way, those that really watched football way back, they only know these CDMs that are really hard, the Makeleles, the Gattusos, Roy Keane. Yes, he had a touch, but he was too rough in there. Nowadays, the CDMs are not meant to be rough. They are not meant to be rough. Their main aim is to really get that ball from the central defenders and really pass it through the midfield, and especially a good central midfielder has to be able to get that ball and pass it directly through the midfield, not like Freddie or Scott McTominay, what they do, passing it sideways. No, you have to pass it directly through the midfield. As you see, a man who goes by names of Nemanja Matic plays, but you know, his legs can no longer really sustain the Premier League in there, and he cannot do that for close to 40 minutes in there. He can just give you minutes of brilliancy, like 20 or 25 or 30, but the rest of the game he's dull in there. So it shows you how much a team which goes by names of Manchester United needs what we call a central defensive midfielder. And if at all Saul Niguez comes through, that left-footed player is really great. He has been on the ladder of Manchester United ever since Louis van Gaal was here at United. Until now, United are still chasing for him. You never know, it might really happen, because we've chased for Saul Niguez for like 6 seasons in there. But remember, a player who goes by names of Rafael Varane has been on the ladder of Manchester United for very, very many years, a decade plus 1 year in there. United wanted that player in 2010 in there by Sir Alex Ferguson, and when he really failed to land that player, he brought in a man who goes by names of Phil Jones, and Phil Jones is going to surrender the shirt number 4 to Rafael Varane in there. So something that you should know about Saul Niguez, his deal to Manchester United connects with his deal to Rafael Varane. United was able to get a player whom they've been chasing for so long, that is Rafael Varane, for the last 10 years to this season. And you never know, Saul Niguez, ever since Louis van Gaal coming in here 2014, 2015, he has been linked to Manchester United, and you never know what will happen. United can really go ahead and land another signing that they've been really chasing for a very long time in there. So something that is really good to hear about this deal is that I've read this story from what we call the Mirror in there, and it's being reported by Tom Hopkinson in there. He's the chief sports reporter for the Sunday Mail and the Sunday People in there. He came out and said that sources close to Saul say he has no desire for his future to still be up in the air by the mid-August, when England and Spain top flights both kick off. He will be allowed to leave for Atletico Madrid between £35 million and £40 million quit by Atletico Madrid. Something that I think United has that money, and they can really break that. This is not even breaking the bank, because we are just he's in the same caliber as Rafael Varane. I've told you that there are very many similarities between the deal of Rafael Varane and the deal of Saul Niguez. First and foremost, I've told you about United have been chasing for his signing for very, very, very long time. In 2014, 2015, it failed under Louis van Gaal in there, and United have been chasing for his signature. Even last summer, he was in the news. Even the other summer, close each and every summer since 2015, he has been in the news. It shows you that United really have an eye on him. Then, Rafael Varane too has been in the chase of Manchester United for a very long time, and we got him. And the other similarity is Saul Niguez is in the same money bracket as a man who goes by Rafael Varane. United got Rafael Varane close to £42 million in there, and Saul Niguez is in 40 million pounds in there, and it looks like a team which goes by names of Atletico Madrid really want to come through and sell off this player because he has fallen down in the pecking order of the manager. Yet he's not a bad player, but I think the manager really looks like Saul is not a player you can rely on, because anytime from now he can really leave your team and really go to another team in there. Secondly, he really wants to get Premier League experience in there, something that a man who goes by the names of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can give him. And when you look at the signings at United, there is space for him in the CDM where he can really come in and play through. And there is another additive that he has, that he can play in each and every position in the midfield. He can play as a CDM, he can play as a holding midfielder, he can play as a deep lying midfielder, he can play as a central attacking midfielder in there. So he can play all the positions into the midfield. That is a man who goes by names of Saul Niguez for you. And when you look at United, last season they tried what we call the diamond in there, and I think he really has to be that man sitting on the bottom of the diamond in there, as Bruno sits on the tip, on its tip in there. So that is something that we should really look at and enjoy. MUFC Daily, how are you? Adam Talk Sport, thank you for watching in. I'm here, and thank you for being here, guy, and I'm really impressed. You are saying Varane might not have to quarantine. People who have had vaccine in Spain from Monday don't have to isolate. Yes, I've read that story. It might be also good. What a very, very, very good impact into this deal, because that means Rafael Varane coming through in United Kingdom, he'll just join United in there and is going to be unveiled. That means he's expected to fly in on Monday. After arriving on Monday, I think he'll gonna go a medical after medical, and I think on Tuesday or Monday night he's going to be unveiled as a Manchester United player. So the Rafael Varane update is he's expected to come to United next week, as MUFC Daily is saying, and you can as well subscribe to that channel which got MFC Daily in there from Adam Talk Sports in there. So I do not know how to set up StreamYard. I want to start a podcast. All right, I'm going to send you a video of how you really set up a podcast on StreamYard, and you'll go on with it very well. I heard it was last day of lockdown in Uganda. Yes, the lockdown, but it's still partial. It's still partial. Now we can move. It's not that we are into our houses. We are no longer into our houses anymore. We can now move in there, and we can do the rest of the business, but most of the business are not operating well because people look like they are not into the best way they really deserve to be in there. So thank you guys for watching in, and I feel like you guys are really great. Thank you for really coming through onto this channel which goes by the names of Manchester United Matters. Then there is a Pogba update that I really want to give you about Paul Pogba. Sorry, I'm not yet done with Saul Niguez. So Saul Niguez, the story of Saul Niguez ends with this, that Saul Niguez hopes to have his move to England sorted this week. His representatives are due to jet into England tomorrow in there. They are going to jet into England tomorrow in there. Manchester United are in the box seat, but Liverpool are also keen, and proposals will be sought from both in bid to tie up a deal quickly in there. So that means the representatives of Saul Niguez are coming or flying to what we call the English. They are flying into UK to really sit with that, whether this deal really gets done of Saul Niguez, because Saul Niguez doesn't want, because it looks like the La Liga, the Premier League, are starting in the mid of August, And the Premier League, I'm very sure of the Premier League, 13th August, 14th is going to be starting. United is going to be playing a team which goes by the names of Leeds at Old Trafford in there. So what Saul Niguez wants, he doesn't want to really see himself suffer after all this. He wants to see himself get a team before the Premier League starts in there. So that is Saul Niguez in there for you, telling you that he really wants to join Manchester United in there. He wants to be playing in the Premier League. And by the 14th of what we call, by the 14th of August, he really wants his deal to be sorted. He doesn't want to go and play anywhere. He wants to play into the Premier League. And the representatives are going to meet Manchester United, and whoever gives him the best offer, that's where he's going. So what's some good news for Manchester United coming in from the Mirror about Saul Niguez? He's one of the players that I really fancy. I like his foot, his technique in there, the way his composure on the ball. He's better than Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba last season almost cost us 3 goals, even the other season, because he loses most of the balls in the midfield in there. So to me, I think getting a player like Saul will be something great for United, and it's something that we should really pray for, to have a player like Saul at Manchester United, because imagine a midfield of Saul, Bruno Fernandes, and Danny Van Beek, all Paul Pogba in there. Do you know what that means? It's really going to be something great for United. Manchester United is said to meet a man who goes by the names of Saul Niguez and his representatives, and he really wants to get his deal done and sorted before what we call the Premier League starts in there. So something great in there. Adam Talk Sports saying the Mirror is not reliable, but you never know. We might see even others. Others are fearing to talk about this story because they feel like they need to have a credible journalist come and talk about it. But trust me, yes, I think the deal of Saul Niguez crossing to Barcelona and Antonio Griezmann crossing back to Atletico Madrid, I think it has stalled. And the agents or the representatives of Saul Niguez really want to see their player really come to the Premier League. Coming to the Premier League really means you are going to get lots of money, you are going to really get relief, and you're really going to play alongside people like Varane, Pogba. The other player goes by the names of Bruno Fernandes, Anton Martial, Edson Cavani, Jadon Sancho. So I think there is a lot for Saul to venture into the Premier League than in the La Liga in there, because he needs a new atmosphere. If at all Varane really has moved to Manchester United, it shows you that United is that team that is having vision. So Saul Niguez to Manchester United will be that deal that I feel United can do, as they are linked to Ruben Neves, as a man who goes by names of Fabrizio Romano has come out and confirmed that United has Saul Niguez onto their list, and we wait him to see whether he really comes out and confirms and tell us that Saul Niguez is on the list of Manchester United. Is United really wanting Saul Niguez, or it's just news that is in the papers, something that we want a man who goes by the names of Fabrizio Romano to come and clear out? But to me, I really feel like we've been chasing for this lad for a very, very long time. We've been chasing for Saul for a very long time, close to 6 years now, and I think it's high time we got him, because his buyout clause is £120 million in there. But because of the COVID market and crisis, Atletico Madrid are willing really to come through and give him out for only £35 million to £40 million. Any person who really comes up through and gives up that money, he will get Saul Niguez in there for him, and Saul will be up for grabs in there. Saul is really a very good player, and when you look at his statistics, they are really amazing. Saul Niguez, just 26 years old, I think it's time he really revived his career, because it looked like a manager who goes by names of Diego Simeone no longer trusted him into his team, because last season he played 33 games in the La Liga, scored 2 goals. UEFA Champions League, he played 6 games in there, 0 goals. Super de España, he played 2 games. He played 2 games. He has fallen into the picking order of the manager of the national team of Spain, because he feels like the flair at Atletico Madrid does not fit into the national team of Spain in there. So Saul to Manchester United will be a deal that I feel like I really want to see it happen. I don't know what you guys think about Saul coming to Manchester United. Go through into the live chat and tell me what you think about Saul being linked to Manchester United in here. Now, Rafael Varane will have to quarantine following his arrival and will undergo a medical to complete his move. He could start training with his new side next week. That is Samuel Lucas from Manchester United. But Adam Talk Sports is telling me that if at all you are vaccinated, there is no quarantining in England in there. I'll wait and see now. Samuel Lucas has continued to go ahead and say that Rafael Varane hopes to travel to Manchester United this weekend to complete his transfer to Manchester United. He could fly to Manchester United on Saturday, but Varane has to obtain a visa before he can fly to England in there. All right, now we really know that he really needs to obtain a visa. That's why he has late really come through to Manchester United. There is something about Paul Pogba that I really want to bring you into this story before I start reading through your live comments in there. And Man United FC Daily Hayes, he's a good player. Yes, he's a good player and he's talented. Liverpool supporters know him. He is one of the reasons why they were knocked out of the Champions League of 2019-2020 in there when they went to the stadium of Atletico Madrid. He's the man who scored that only goal that saw Atletico Madrid win that one in there before they came back to Anfield to really humiliate them badly in there at a stadium known as Anfield. There is something I'm looking for Paul Pogba, because it looks like Paul Pogba to Manchester United is something that we should even talk about. That United, I've read a story from, is it the Manchester United Evening News, telling us that the relationship between Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Paul Pogba can really help Pogba stay at Manchester United. That is something that I've read, and if at all it's true, yes, it's really a fair deal for Pogba, because I see no manager has really got the best out of Paul Pogba than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Ferguson failed, and he said the problem with Paul Pogba, he has a very bad agent in there. Secondly, Mourinho, who brought him, really also failed really him, and he was the reason as to why he was sacked from Manchester United in there. You can remember the whole story, because Paul Pogba messed off the entire dressing room, and they are not in good terms with Jose Mourinho. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming through at Manchester United, I think Paul Pogba has played the best football for United under a man who goes by names of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Though his agent really has come out and said that United don't know how to utilize or use the player who goes by names of Paul Pogba in there. Something that really sparked lots of reactions in there. And Mino Raiola said that Paul Pogba doesn't want to be at Manchester United anymore. That was way back in December, January and February. Mino Raiola couldn't really shut his beak up. He is a motor mouth. He's a motor mouth. He's ever talking. No respect for the club. And I think he is an agent that is going to fail the career of Paul Pogba in there for you. But it is being reported that the good relationship that a man who goes by the names of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer he's having with Paul Pogba could help Pogba really stay at Manchester United in there. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sat down Paul Pogba during December and January and told him, can you really play for us some football? And then we'll see what will happen at the end of the season. If you feel like you want to go, let you keep quiet. Let your agent keep quiet. Play for the game. Play for Manchester United. Then after, when the right time for you to leave comes, you will leave the team which goes by names of Manchester United in there. So that's what Ole really said to Paul Pogba, and Paul Pogba listened to him, and they expect the same attitude and approach. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to take it to Paul Pogba, telling him, you see, we have Sancho, we have Varane, we have Bruno, we have Danny Van Beek, and we are planning to get in more players in there. So why don't you stay at Manchester United? We've reached a level of winning trophies. Don't you see that? So Paul Pogba, it will all be left into his eyes and his agent to see to it that he really stays at Manchester United. But it said that if at all he's to start Manchester United, he's going to be earning a very huge salary, a minimum of £400,000 a week. That's what Paul Pogba is destined to get at Manchester United, and he can even demand for £500,000 a week, $500,000, £500,000 per a week. Can you imagine a player going for $500,000 or getting a salary of £500,000 a week? Stuart Sanchez was on that, and he later was sold to a team which goes by the names of Inter Milan. I don't know what you think about the Paul Pogba situation. Saul Niguez and Rafael Varane, go into the live chat and tell him what you think about it. Adam Talk Sports, Man United FC says When will he get the visa? I think the visa, I think he's going to get it before Sunday. That's what I know. And I think he'll be at United in their glory, Manchester United. Let's see what happens. All right. Thank you guys for watching again. Smash a like on the video, comment and share. If at all you are new to this channel, please endeavor to subscribe so as not to miss out on the stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This is Rokan David, aka Aradon, to this channel, which goes by names of Manchester United Matters. We are live. We do uploads on a daily onto this channel, and hit the notification bell if you've subscribed so as not to miss out on the notifications that you do get there on a daily. I sign out for now.